my company is the Goat Girls. I'm sure if any of you have been outdoors in San Luis, you've seen at one time or another a herd of goats. They're, noticeable, distinctly different from cattle. We're often on steep hillsides or in fields of weeds, but we essentially use sheep and goats for grazing as a land management tool. Most of our job sites are focused on controlling invasive weed species, reducing biomass in waterways to prevent flooding. We're in vineyards right now, grazing the floor of the vines before bud break. But most of our important work, I would say, for our community is reducing fuel hazard through the grazing of fine fuels, as we talk about in the fire department. So how we do this, we use portable electric fencing. If you guys have seen the little white fences we use, those are really easy to move around, and it helps us contain the animals, but also control the way that they graze. We use guardian dogs to prevent predation. Mountain lions are prominent in this area, and one dog is sufficient to keep them away. We have lots of border collies, old and young, always training the new one, but they help to move the herd, respond if there's an escape, and allow us to essentially walk them between places. Our typical year starts in February. We just rounded up, kidding. We have a little bit more, but you might see us on Los Osos Valley Road. I lease a cover crop there on an organic farm. And so you'll see about 350 baby goats in there coming in March. Once the babies have 2 months with their mom, we wean them. They stay at the farm, and the moms join the boys or wethers and the sheep, and we go off for our grazing season. So between April and October, we're usually grazing for hire. In the fall, we come back from our jobs. We also graze at Turi Ranch, and all of our sheep have their babies. So lots going on Los Osos Valley Road. So most people assume it's a pretty easy line of work. You just throw some goats out there and you get paid, and it's just really easy. Lots of people feel they missed their calling and should do what I do. But there's a reason that there's not many people doing it. If any of you know goats, they're tricky little critters, and so they test you for sure, and I've always enjoyed that. I think I enjoy their rebellious nature or relate to that myself. But it's not for the faint of heart. They take advantage of you whenever they can, just because they can. But our work is hard. I mean, we weed whack, chainsaw, carry fence. Our electric fence runs on car batteries, so we have to carry batteries out into fields. Goats are 200 pounds. If somebody's sick or has a hurt leg, I mean, we have to drag them to the car, to the trailer. So it is very physical work, but it's also very rewarding. We also get to hang out with hundreds of baby goats and help them get a good start to life. I really enjoy that animal husbandry, nurturing them and giving them a good start. We work all over the county. I don't leave the county very often, but Templeton, Paso Robles, San Miguel, down to Orchid, Santa Maria. So we get to take in some incredible sunsets on unique vantage points. Goats have been a part of my life since I was 6 years old. I did 4-H and raised dairy goats all through high school. But when I went to college, I knew that those goat days were over. Cal Poly didn't have any goats at the time, and I was really surprised when I found goats one summer. I found a gentleman that was hired to graze a firebreak behind the dorms, and create defensible space. I worked with him to do a senior project, and my degree was in animal science. I had a minor in range management, so I knew plants and the concept of land management. He knew goats and border collies. So his name was Howard True. We met that summer in 2003, and he was a major influence in my life, total mentor, until he passed away this last year. But we had a lot of great successes. His company at the time was, really just to give the border collies a job. He had 5 border collies, 150 goats. We did a lot of residential properties, but it has grown significantly since then. I now have 2 employees, one of which came today, Katie. She's a student from Cal Poly. We have over 1,000 sheep and goats. We often hire big rigs, semi-trailers to haul them around. We do lots of work for the city of San Luis Obispo. We graze the Salinas Riverbed for the city of Paso. And we look forward to continuing our efforts here in San Luis and creating defensible space for our community. Thank you.